everybody, this is Jenna-Rose. We have the father of the famous actress Lindsay Lohan, but also becoming an entrepreneur himself, Michael Lohan, on the phone. How are you doing?
Good morning, Jenna. Thank you very much. I'm doing well.
Great. So I know you've had some trials and tribulations recently. I know you got out of rehab in February, but how is rehab different this time for you? Do you feel better this time around coming out?
I have to say that this program is, it's stellar. It's probably the best program I've ever been to, and that's why I'm working for Paul Partners now.
What was so different about this program in particular?
Well, they take a totally different approach. They take a holistic approach, and they really address the traumas in your life, and mine go back way back to 1990. But, you know, when you look at things that even Lindsay went through with the divorce of Dina and I,
right.
That was a very traumatic moment for her, and that was the time that flipped the switch that led to her addiction. Speaking
of Lindsay, and is she doing better? Like, do you feel like since this program is so stellar, do you feel like you have a better relationship with Lindsay? You guys reconnect more?
Lindsay's on a much better path. I think she's doing very well. I'm not going to predict the future. I just think that she's headed in the right direction. She's got a lot of people in her life now that should have been there before.
Yeah, and she was on SNL, and she did an amazing job. And I was very proud of her for coming out and showing her colors and coming back strong into the entertainment industry. So I thought that was great myself.
Lorne Michaels deserves a lot of credit too, because he gave her the chance to come on, and that was the fourth time she hosted it. So, I mean, that's a blessing in itself. But she did have a chance to prove herself, and now with this Elizabeth Taylor TV movie, I guess she's got a great opportunity.
Congrats on that. And I know you've actually been dabbing. You're welcome. You're actually been dabbing into your own radio career. You're trying to steal my job, I see. You know,
no, I'm not trying to steal anything. I could never match up with you and the rest of the professionals. I actually was dared to take a job at Burger King, and they didn't think I'd do it, so I went and applied for a job at Burger King. And when people saw it and they heard about it in the local media, Kevin from the KBJ show down here at Wild 95.5 called me up and said, "Hey, listen, would you like to come in here and work here?" So I kind of switched hats from a Burger King crown to a co-host on a radio show.
You traded Whopper for headphones. That's cool. How do you like being on air? Like, do you feel like it could be a new career path for you, or how do you feel about the industry so far?
No, not a full-time career. I mean, there might be the opportunity in April for me to have my own show, but it'll be one day a week on Sundays, and it'll be talk radio with a pretty big DJ that left a radio station down here. But I like to just, use my knowledge and my experience to help other people and possibly save lives.
Right, so it's more like a therapeutic radio show for you. That's what you would be directing towards?
Yeah, I mean, if people have call-ins and they want any advice, we're going to have professionals on from Paul Partners and hopefully Dr. Drew, and know how to address trauma. It'll help a lot of people.
That's great. I'm glad you sound very together, and I saw your Twitter. You're all about God and being spiritual. I think that's amazing. I'm pretty spiritual myself, so I think you're definitely on a great path.
Well, it's about, like, as you see on Twitter every morning when I read the Bible, I get down on my knees morning, afternoon, and night, and I just ask for guidance, and I try to share that with other people.
That's great, and I heard you're also donating all your earnings from the radio station to charities. That's really cool.
The station is involved with a charity called Little Smiles, and it's sort of like a Make-A-Wish, but it's just on a smaller level. But I mean, they did something really neat recently that the kids that were sick, they let them perform and had like a little Oscar thing for them where they walked on the carpet, they had press there, and they got awards. And I mean, that's really, really making them feel good about themselves and gives them something to hope for.
Right. Well, that's great. All right. So what upcoming projects do you have in the works? So where are we going to see you next?
Just doing this kind of work, and I'm sure that there'll be some events that we'll be putting together that might be in the media, but there's also a charitable, I guess you want to call project that I'm working on right now with some people out in a production company out in L.A. That's going to give back a tremendous amount of money to 10 different charities every time we do the event, which might turn into a reality show. Yeah.
Wow, that sounds great. Well, thank you so much, Michael.
Wonderful.
Do you want to tell anyone your Twitter, any way they can follow you and keep up with your projects?
Follow me at Michael J. Lohan on Twitter. They can connect with me or connect with the things I say, but the best thing to do is just be an inspiration yourself.
All right, well, thank you so much, Michael. I hope you have a great day, and I really appreciate you talking to me today, and I hope you keep doing your thing.
I really appreciate it. You too.